Today, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get a true stereo rig out of your GT1000 Core. Let's go. Hey, I hope you're all doing well. So, it's been a little while since I've posted something because I've had to move house. So you can probably see that this room is a little bit different. It's more or less the same, like I've got all the same gear in here, but obviously I'm in a new house. Moving sucks, don't recommend. However, I'm in and I'm ready to go. So, for a long time, I've been wanting to figure out how to get my GT1000 Core to do a true stereo rig. So it sounds like I've got two guitars left and right because I'm in a three-piece band and it's just me. So I want things to sound a little bit wider and thicker and fuller for those live performances. Now, what do I mean? So a mono guitar sounds just like this. And the stereo guitar. If you are not listening in stereo, if you're listening on your phone, at the very least, turn your phone sideways so you can get that stereo feel. Otherwise, get some headphones or some speakers and listen to it there and you'll hear things a lot clearer. The routing possibilities in the GT1000 Core are amazing. And I thought just to create a stereo rig would be super duper easy. Turns out it's a little bit of stuffing around and I've only just figured it out. So let's jump on the computer, I'll show you what I mean. Here I have Boss Tone Studio opened up. Now, as you know, you've got these dividers and you can switch between your amps or you can combine the two. Now, in theory, you would think that by combining the two, it would make it stereo. However, it does not. So in mono, so that's what we're dealing with there. What you need to do, come down to the end, click on the cabinet and turn off the stereo link. So when they're linked, obviously everything is combined. So turn it off. Now you've got here, left speaker type, right speaker type. I do recommend that you change one side. Let's just do that one. That's just two impulse responses that I've loaded in there. I usually use the two different Marshalls, but they should sound a little bit more different. Now, if you just do that, this is what happens. Still straight down the middle. So what's going on? This is where you need to come back here to the mix. Nope, not to the mix, to this divider. So these two here are gonna work as your stereo thing. So rather than having it on single, you wanna make it dual. So now there's nothing loaded in there, but that is two signal paths, kind of like this one if you turn this one to dual. So now you can see those two are combined. Turn it back to single. So that's what's happening here. And that's when we need to come to this little mixer panel. Now it currently says stereo, but that's not what we want. Pan, left and right. And this is where the spread really comes into play. So here it is in the middle. Now that's a pretty extreme spread there. I don't recommend going that far unless that's what you're going for. I personally bring it back down to either 20 or 30. Seems to be sort of a happy place there. Sounds pretty good. So if you go to all the way to 100, there's quite a delay on that. And whilst it sounds cool and they're definitely separated, that's really confusing and hard to play, so don't do that. Back down, let's back it. Always 21, why is it 21? I want it 20, thank you very much. So, one side. This is the Marshall, I think. Got it plugged in backwards. And then the other side. Phone back in. Sounds bloody good. So you could come back here and make this one stereo as well and combine 2 amps there. I personally think it just gets a little bit complicated once you start doing that sort of thing. When you bring in your delay, let's go master delay here. Now this is on pan. Now as you can hear, that is no longer panning. So you need to move that as well to be post this mix. And now it's going to be panning left and right. So remember, if you're going to go stereo, if you put your delay before this split, it's going to keep it in mono. So it's going to be hitting it the same apparently and not spreading. So obviously chuck it after. And if you pop it in there, then that's really going to split the mix. And it's still, now that's only going to be on one side. Cool, cool, cool. So at the end here, when you're looking at it, it doesn't actually look like it makes sense because this is the left main out and that's the main right out. And this is the main left and that's the main right. So you would think that they need to be together. However, for whatever reason, this is going to the left and this is going to the right. It just seems to work. I did experiment with putting these into here. But I don't think you actually need to. Now that sounded pretty much exactly the same to me. Let's have a listen again. Turn the levels down. Yeah, cool. So it sounds like it works that way if that's how you want to do it, but you don't have to. You can leave them beforehand and it's just one less thing to stuff around. However, if you want to make sure that it is in there and it looks right, can't hurt. And that's pretty much it. There are a couple of steps, obviously, that you need to take in order to get this to work correctly, but end of the day, it's pretty straightforward once you know what you're looking for. I love using this stereo spread, especially on my rhythm guitar. So not only to make the mix sound a lot wider and fuller, but also it gets the guitars away from the vocals, spreads them out, and then the vocals can cut through a little bit more cleaner straight down the middle. When it comes to solos, I think you could probably go either way. You could keep it spread and it would be totally fine, but if you really want your solos to cut, I'd probably keep them in mono so that they do come in the middle and they take over from the vocalist, and then patch back to your rhythm guitar and it spreads it out again. Up to discussion, really depends on what you're going for. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. See you next time.